Welcome back. Fox News contributor, columnist for The Messenger, Joe Concha, out with a new op-ed titled Media's Bias of Omission. Biden's scandals get the silent treatment. He writes this, Exhibit A is the third rail of journalism that pertains to the sitting U.S. president and multiple scandal allegations that are barely creating a ripple in most traditional media. Concha points out that last month, national evening newscasts on NBC, ABC, and CBS dedicated over 290 minutes to former President Trump's indictment, while the Biden family scandals get a whopping 0 minutes of coverage. Governor Huckabee, your reaction to a media landscape that seems to be getting worse and worse.
Maria, this is election interference at its worst. I mean, let's go back to the 51 intelligence agencies or agents who talked about that this Russian disinformation was really what was behind the Hunter laptop story. Now we know that the laptop was real, but it was the allegations by the 51 intelligence officials that was totally bogus. But nobody wants to report that. Nobody wants to talk about that there was an intentional and very concerted effort on the part of current and former government officials to tilt the election in 2020. That is clearly election interference. And this bias that Joe Concha so brilliantly points out in his column is one more example of the fact that journalism in this country is absolutely dead. There are only a handful of people that even ask the questions. And the two things journalists have to have are, first of all, a sense of cynicism. They need to be questioned about everything. They need to just not believe what they're told at the White House press briefing, no matter who's there. And the second is a curiosity. They don't have either one. And as a result, they're worthless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? It's incredible to me when you think about those 51 intelligence officials. At that time, John Ratcliffe was the sitting director of national intelligence. He was the DNI for Trump's administration. He came on this program right before the election, and he said very clearly, as the DNI, the lead intelligence official, a sitting lead intelligence official, he said, the laptop is not Russian disinformation. He told us clearly on this program, and yet the letter from the 51 did not quote John Ratcliffe. Liz, don't you find that incredible? That they have these 51 intelligence officials saying, oh, yeah, this is Russian disinformation. And you have a sitting DNI, the person who actually sees more intelligence than anybody other than the sitting president, telling us straight away this is not Russian disinformation. And yet nobody in the media reported it, and he was on this program live saying it.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised, Maria, because that letter was actually orchestrated by none other than Antony Blinken. It was a political setup to confront some very embarrassing facts, and that continues. I think where we are now is that the liberal media is tiptoeing into the fact that Hunter Biden was in bed with a lot of Chinese and other disreputable companies, including in Ukraine and so forth. Where they will not go, where they are terrified to go, is linking that to Joe Biden, because they know it's real. They know it's absolutely undermining the president. Already a majority of Americans think that Joe Biden took a bribe as vice president. I think between now and 2024, he will be edged out of running for president. And I think it is this corruption scandal that actually is going to undermine his chances. He has a lot of other problems, to be sure, but Americans will not vote, I believe, for someone who has increasingly become, it has become increasingly obvious that he actually took money while in office.
One bribe, Liz? You think he took one bribe?
Well, I'm just saying, I think that the evidence is mounting, and the media is terrified about it.
Yeah, we've got evidence of at least one bribe. Meanwhile, Florida Governor and presidential candidate Ron DeSantis joined me on Sunday Morning Futures yesterday, and we discussed the 2024 election. He told me the media is the reason his campaign is losing steam. Watch this.
These are narratives. The media does not want me to be the nominee. I think that's very, very clear. Why? Because they know I'll beat Biden, but even more importantly, they know I will actually deliver on all these things.
Governor Huckabee, your reaction?
I mean, his campaign has had some tough moments getting started from the very day of the launch. He's been an outstanding governor, has a good record there. One thing he did say that is exactly right in his interview with you is that running for president is really not a national election. It's running almost a race for governor in about 5 or 6 early states. And if you do well there, you're still in the game. If you don't, you're done. And that's how it works. So a lot of these candidates are struggling to get on the debate stage. If they don't, they're finished. If they do, but they don't do well in the early states, they're done. That's how it works. But the one to keep an eye on is Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm not saying he could end up with the nomination, but he is capturing an enormous amount of interest among people who listen to him and say, this guy's making sense. And he's doing something that some of the others are not doing. He is avoiding the attacks on Trump and is actually showing support for Trump, which I think is a very smart move on his part.
Yeah, I think it's really incredible to see him in the 3rd spot. Okay, you've got Trump all the way up at 56%, Governor DeSantis at 20+%, and then Vivek at 10%. The others are below 5% or at 5%. It's pretty extraordinary that he's made it to number 3.